Welcome you all. I am Sukumar, manager Rising Techons Private Limited. It's a software startup. I am one of the founders of this company. Prior to becoming founder of this company, I have 14 years of total professional experience in the field of engineering, especially project management and supply chain management in corporate multinational giants. I hold a bachelor's of engineering degree in mechatronics engineering and a postgraduate diploma in business administration. Today's topic: are you an engineer or just an engineering graduate? So, before going to this, do you really think by holding an engineering degree you should be called as an engineer or I should be called as an engineer? The answer is a big no. Why? Becoming an engineer is not just by holding or graduating with a bachelor's of engineering degree or a master's of engineering degree. You should have certain qualities, certain skills to be called as an engineer. I'm going to have this session from the point of view of an industrial expert. Academically, if you graduate with a bachelor's of engineering degree, you will be called as an engineer. I'm not going to debate whether it's right or wrong, but the fact remains is that if you want to be called as a real engineer, then you need to have certain qualities which are must and should. Without those qualities, at any point of time in your life, you cannot be called as an engineer. You can be only called as an engineering degree holder. I hope you got it right. You can be called as an engineering degree holder and not as an engineer. So, what makes you an engineer? You all should know, in India we have many engineering colleges from which we have close to more than 5 lakhs of engineering graduates coming out of colleges every year. More than 5 lakhs of bachelors of engineering graduates, be it in the name of BE or BTech. In India, we have more than 5 lakh people graduating with that degree every year. How many of them are framing a career in engineering field? How many of them? Maybe 20%, 25%, or at the maximum 50%. And there is one more mindset with our people. I don't say all of them have this mindset, but most of them have this mindset that if you hold a BE or BTech degree, you should be called as an engineer. No, it's absolutely wrong. You cannot be. Even having that expectation itself is wrong. if you have to be called as an engineer, you should have engineering skills within you. Just by studying certain topics, writing the examinations, and coming out with a degree doesn't make you as an engineer. Remember this. It's going to help you. It's going to help you. This is going to give a certain insight about what is engineering, what is it all about, and how you can become an engineer. Okay, you might ask me, see, what else you need to have to be called as an engineer? Question yourself. Have you learned properly what was there in your syllabus? Or at least even in certain topics of your utmost interest, how many of you are able to answer technically when questioned at any point of time without any formal preparation? Even if you are attending a campus interview, you are preparing prior to the campus interview. Why it is required? Why? Question yourself. If you are an engineer, why you need to prepare yourself before attending an interview? Why? Why are many people asking what sort of questions will come in the interview? See, I have been conducting interviews to hire interns since few months, and every time we pass on a message regarding the recruitment, the first question we get is, in what topic the questions will be asked, what type of questions is going to be asked, why that question is coming. Because most of you feel that interview is another set of examination, and interview should be conducted in a certain pattern. No, it goes with the company's discretion. When we had conducted a different approach of an interview, many of the people failed. Many of the people who have participated in it failed. When we have analyzed it, then we have got to understand that they are fed with certain things. They are misguided with certain things, that if it is a software company, these will be the rounds. If it is a manufacturing company, these will be the rounds of interview. This will be the pattern of questions asked. And certain companies do follow that pattern. It's their discretion. Just because few giants in the field follow a set pattern, it doesn't mean every company has to follow the same pattern. And even if a set pattern is followed, how many are ready at any given point of time without any formal preparation for it? How many? Question yourself. Okay, let me come to the answer section. How will you become engineer from degree holder? A big question. First, anyone to become an engineer from an engineering degree holder, they should have practical knowledge. Practical knowledge in the sense, it is not the lab experiments that you conduct as a part of your practical subjects. Practical knowledge is real-time application of what you have studied. If you have studied strength of materials, you should be able to construct a beam on your own. If you have studied control systems, then you should be able to make a distributed control system on your own, at least conceptualize it. If you have studied microcontroller, then you should be able to design a microcontroller circuit and program it on your own. If you have studied Java, then you should be able to build an application with Java on your own. If you have studied chemical engineering, then you should be able to manufacture a chemical or analyze a chemical on your own. On your own in the sense, I am not saying without equipments. Equipments will be available. If equipments are available and the facilities are available, then you should be able to do it. How many of the mechanical engineers or mechanical engineering degree holders can do a design and fabrication of a simple equipment on their own? Are we running short of ideas? Are we not creative enough? Definitely we are creative. We have talent in us. Everybody has a set of talent inside them. Then why we are unable to express it? Don't say the reason of communication. You can express it in your own language which you know. It is not an issue. Expressing it in English is not a mandatory requirement. If you are good in Tamil, you do it in Tamil, not an issue. If you are good in Telugu, do it in Telugu. If you are good in Hindi, do it in Hindi. If you are well versed in Telugu, then do it in Telugu. Kannada, Malayalam, Gujarati, Bengali, it doesn't matter. Language doesn't matter. If you are able to convey certain things in one language, then translating it into another language is not a big task. See, one such good example I can tell you is a weaving equipment was developed by an 8th standard fail. See, I don't remember exactly. I think his name is Malanna from present state of Telangana. He had failed many times, yet he developed it to ease out the process, to eradicate the manual process that used to consume a lot of time, and it needed a lot of focus, and if that was mechanized, then the productivity goes up. He was just a school dropout. How could he find it? He had that zeal, he had that interest, he wanted to learn the technology. So he did it. If an 8th standard dropout or a 10th standard dropout can do that, if a 12th standard student can develop a mini satellite or a micro satellite, a Nagarkoil school kid has developed a mini scaled satellite and it was launched. And you know his percentage in 12th, 60. So by any means, can any academician certify him as talented? No, because we run behind marks. Marks is not what reveals your true potential. So okay, then problem solving skills. See, there are a lot of problems prevailing surrounding to us. If you are if you are child of a farmer, you have n number of things that you can do to ease out the process of agriculture, to bring mechanization in agriculture. Even today, we are having limited mechanical equipments used in agriculture. Why not we make it? Why can't we make it? The only thing is we are failing to observe what is the problem and how to solve it. The problem solving approach, problem identification and problem solving approach is missing within us. You might ask me, how many have I did? So the thing is, we are doing it now. We are starting that activity now. Because of my profession, I did not find enough time to do it. So now after starting my own company, I'm going in the process of uh, making the conceptualization of it and taking it to the next level of designing it and then going for fabrication. Then correlating concepts with real-time happenings around us. This ability should be possessed by anyone to be called as an engineer. This is one of the most important things. How many of electrical engineering students can fix a switchboard in their home? Question yourself, how many? You are studying electrical engineering. Many of the electrical engineering students I have seen so far, they lack the ability to find out why a sudden power cut has happened in their home. Whether it's a trip of the MCB, whether it's the main switch that got off or the fuse it was burnt. The next moment, without examining anything, they'll call the EB or an electrician. Then why are you studying electrical engineering? To get a BE certificate, BE BTech certificate? If you can't even perform this activity, I'm not saying all. There are certain people who are good in designing electrical circuits or working out something in electrical engineering. But I can say majority of them are not. How many of the computer science engineering or the information science or information technology students are able to develop a software application on their own? How many? Question yourself. But in their resumes we can see Java, Python, C, C++, C Sharp, .NET. But if you ask them to write a program for a real-time solution, giving the problem statement, many of them are even unable to write a coding for it. This is as a part of technical round we have conducted. Sorry for being harsh, but it is a harsh reality. You cannot deny that, because we have data with us. And the seriousness of building a career has gone down. At least half of the people are predominantly focused on money. The first question asked in the interview, before even the start of the interview, is how much we will be paid. We have this talent, how much will you pay for this talent? And even certain people in the interview form, they have filled it in the remark section. When it is clearly indicated, there won't be any stipend. Certain people have indicated, we are spending our time in your company, so you have to pay us. See, just because someone spends time, does it mean that it is payable if they do not contribute anything to the organization's requirements? Then what is the amount of time spent by the company to train them, to equip them, for getting them ready for the industry? Who is going to pay that? If you are already an engineer, then why there is a need of training? Just we can tell what is the work needed. We can give an outline guidance and ask them to start the project. Because they are not ready, the company position to spend time and money for training these candidates and approaching every aspect from an engineering point of view. So this is one of the most important factors that is mandatory for you to be called as an engineer. Why it is important? Because if you have to become an engineer, then you have to approach every activity from an engineering point of view. How it works, what is the concept behind it, what is the technology behind it, what are the science principles behind it. If you can't approach in this way, then sorry to say, you cannot become an engineer at any point of time. If you possess this, then you are transforming yourself from a degree holder into an engineer. For some it takes 5 years, for some it takes even a longer duration, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years to become an engineer from a degree holder. Hope you found this video informative. Please do like this, share this to your friends, and subscribe to the channel by pressing the bell button for more videos of this sort. Thanks for spending your time. Have a nice day. Thank you. It's your Sukumar signing off.